So good evening. Hi all. Good evening. So let's start. So in this 3 hour session, we are going to discuss three main things. Three things. First, let me brief up what all are we going. First, basically it's regarding the amendment and so basically it's regarding the amendments, and in the available time, we are going to cover three things. Essay 450. Why Essay 450? Because for the May 25 exam, they had amended material. In the amended ICAI material, they have introduced. Earlier it was there, but in the material now they have introduced. First thing, Essay 450. Next, we will go to PE amendments, professional ethics amendments. Not much of amendments. There are 12 ESB decisions which is added, and one logo guidelines, the tricolor logo they have changed. Second. Third, and the most important thing is NBFC's amendment part alone we will take. But I've come up with 5 questions of NBFC, 5 questions. And if time permits, we will do all the 5 questions. We will take only amendments of NBFC, then solve all the 5 questions. Is that okay? But if okay, come on, let's start. And one more request, let's keep the session interactive. You can type anything you feel like, answers, etc. in the chat box. Okay. So I will first start with essay 450 because that we will finish in 20 minutes. Then P also 20 minutes. Then in the rest of the time, let's lavishly spend in NBFC. What you say? Epdi, how is it? Plan okay or not? Okay. So I'm keeping the basic explanation in English. So if you have any doubt, let me know. I will elaborate. Okay. So if it is all set, get set, go. Okay. And what is essay 450? 450. Okay. So this ICA has added along with the chapter number. Anyone? They have added along with chapter number 3. Okay. This essay 450. Now, before we start 450, can you say the link? In essay 315, what will you do? I'll just say the keywords. Okay, all are saying Romam risk, but I am going to say identify and assess risk of material misstatement. You will identify and you will assess how much is the risk. Now, in 320, you will see whether it is dash or not. You will see the materiality. Now, if material, okay, this risk, you will try to, in essay 330, we will try to, what will you do, guys? In essay 330, we will try to respond. Now, is it possible to respond to every risk? Every risk can you respond? No. Now, the risk which you cannot respond, it may be misstatements. Now, in essay 450, you are going to, it's not risk, you are already identified. Now, you are going to evaluate the risk which you have identified. Now, after that, in essay 500 series, you will obtain what audit evidence about the items, etc. If you are unable to obtain evidence through 600 series, or I cannot obtain evidence myself, I will be using the work of others. And finally, I have obtained evidence in 500 series, I have evaluated in 450, and I've used the work of others, and I will give up. What will you give? You will give a correct report. Opinion. You will form the opinion and give a report under 700 series. Okay. Now, if it is a specific purpose framework, like for a contractor, or if it is a single element, or if it is a summary financials, then your opinion is not only 700, it is also as per essay 800 series special cases. Or is that flow clear? Okay, so guys, where are we? Where are we in this phase? Where are we now? We are not in identify, we are not in material. In essay 450, very good. In essay 450, you are going to evaluate. Are we clear? So we are in the evaluation stage. Okay. So if that's clear, can we start with essay 450 directly? Okay. So guys, if you want, you can note down all the main things. Huh? Okay. First step in the exam hall right now, what students feel little difficult is presentation might be there, but identification of which topic. Have you come across this difficulty while doing MTP or RTP or past exam question or something? In the question, A, the question identification. Okay, now I'll say for every essay we can sit and say a keyword, but right now I will say only for 450. When will you think of 450 in the exam hall? They are giving in the question, okay, example of a misstatement. They might not use the word misstatement. If there has been a big government grant which is got, and this grant has been taken entirely to P&L. Is it right or wrong? Government grant they got, entire grant they have credited to P&L. They have taken to P&L. Is the treatment as per AS Ind AS? No. So this is an example of what? Wrong. So this is an example of what? Misstatements. Now you will think about, okay, misstatement came. Now it may be essay 450 evaluation. Are we clear? So essay 450, you have to think when a misstatement is there or this word will be there. Somewhere in the question, there will be a word, right? Evaluation. So either misstatement or evaluation. Otherwise, this essay generally is not applicable. Okay. So starting directly, you will ask the flow. Essay. Essay. Essay 450. What's the name? Are you going to identify? Are you going to assess? Are you going to respond? No, you are going to evaluate. Evaluation of what? The dash. Evaluation of the misstatements. Wait. Already identification assessment is over. Now, which you have identified the misstatements during the audit. Now guys, what is misstatement? It's a difference between what it should be and the what it should be what it should be as per the AS, Ind AS, AFRF. But actually what it is as per the FS. What it should be and what it is. Okay. So the misstatement is the difference between the amount as reported where in FS books and as required by Anjana, as required by AFRF. Now, this misstatement can be either intentional or unintentional. So, it can arise either due to fraud or it can arise either due to error. Now, guys, there is a point which I want to say. Ask me one point I want to say. See, I said this essay you will think in the exam hall if it is a misstatement, right? Now, what if this misstatement is a fraud? You just said no, misstatement can be fraud or error. Then, in the question, as per the circumstance, you might need to link it with essay 240 or CARO, clause number. CARO, Divya, clause number. Yeah, clause number 11. Or if it is more than 1 crore and it is a company reporting to central government ADT 4. So that question you have to see carefully. Okay. Whether it's a reporting requirement. If it is just evaluation, do you need to link 240, CARO, etc.? No. If it is like what auditor will do in the circumstances, what is supposed to do, then you will evaluate, then you will report also if fraud. Okay. Now, guys, the misstatement can be because of the inventory is not properly dash. What inventory is not properly valued. It can be because of wrong valuation. Now, they have not properly dashed the salaries. They have not properly what? Classification. Okay. They have not, the dashboard you said, they have not properly dashed the assets and liability. As per Schedule 3, they have not presentation. Now, contingent liability, they have not. All these are how misstatements can arise. Disclosures. Now, guys, these words, can you carefully read and say what type of misstatement? Now, we were saying what is misstatement. Now, can you say what are the different terms used? Actually, not types, different terms. Okay, terms, different terms. Now, these are the terms. First term. Misstatement that you have accumulated during your audit but not corrected. I have found out misstatement in salary. The assets, I told the management and they have not yet corrected it. Such misstatement is called as what? Very good, uncorrected misstatements. Now, we have fixed the materiality as 5 lakh. In our audit, we have fixed materiality benchmark as 5 lakh. Now, we found out the misstatements, a lot of misstatements. Every misstatement together, aggregate, accumulated, it's only 2 lakh. But our materiality is 5 lakh. All the misstatement together, it's only 2 lakh. Such misstatement, which is less than the materiality or small magnitude, it's called as the, very good, trivial. How will you pronounce? Bharat Allah. It's called as the trivial misstatement. Trivial means trivial or trivial. Trivial means immaterial, shorter, less than the materiality. In our example, materiality is 5 lakh. All the identified misstatement together 2 lakh. May I have a proceed if all clear till here? Okay. Now, guys, salary. Okay, salary. There is a proper document showing salary payment to the concerned employee through bank mode. It is 10 lakh. But actual salary recorded in books is only 8 lakh. It's proved. There is no doubt. I have a ledger copy. I have a salary payment. I know it's 10 lakh. It's fact. It is fact here. 10 lakh is the salary paid, but actually it's shown only 8 lakh. Such misstatement where you don't have any doubt, you know it is a misstatement. That's called as, who said? Maitri? Factual misstatement. It's a fact here. Fact. It's proved. It's a misstatement. Tappu, tettu. Okay. Next. Provision. Now tell me one provision, no? Provision for financial instruments. Provision for financial instrument. In our judgment, it should be this much. Whereas in management judgment, it is this much. So there's a difference between the judgment made by the management and we think it is not proper or it's inappropriate. Our judgment and management judgment is different. So the word itself says judgmental misstatements. Judgmental. Okay. The audit is always done on we do the audit on what? Sample na. Okay, I selected a sample of 500. 500 cash payments. In 500, there's a misstatement of 50. So approximately 10% in the sample. If 50 item in the sample is misstated, how much will be misstated in the entire population of 10,000? Such misstatement where you project to the population, misstatement in sample when addressed to the entire population. So in 10,000, how much it will be there? 1,000, 10%. Such misstatement is called as the projected misstatements. So guys, can you pause for 1 or 2 minutes? 1 minute. So what we said, what is misstatement? The first part. Second part was what are the different terms used? Uncorrected, trivial, factual, judgmental, projected. Are we clear with this? Any doubt? If there is any doubt, you put it in the chat box. That's okay. Shushu, next heading. Oh, alright guys, what is this? Next heading. What is the objective of auditor? Say, assume our CA Harsh. He is the auditor. Okay. Now, what is the objective? You are going to evaluate. What evaluate? What is Harsh CA's objective? Evaluate the effect of dash misstatement and dash misstatements. First, he will evaluate the effect of which misstatements? Identified misstatements. You identified misstatement, salary, cash, sales. How it will affect my audit? You will see whether it exceeds materiality. Now identified. Even after we identified, ask them to correct, they did not correct. Now second, effect of what misstatement? Uncorrected misstatement on FS. Any other standard, anything else came to your mind, guys? If you hear about uncorrected misstatements? Very good. From here, route will go to essay 705, where you will evaluate the pervasiveness, and if it is material pervasive, you will give adverse, otherwise qualified. So two misstatement you have to evaluate. One, identified and uncorrected. Okay, someone asked me doubt, no? Judgmental misstatements means, Harsha, നിന്റെ ജഡ്ജ്മെന്റിൽ ഇത്ര ആയിരിക്കണം ബട്ട് മാനേജ്മെന്റ് ഇത്രയാണ് ആ ഡിഫറൻസ്. സോ ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ പ്രൊവിഷൻ ഫോർ ബാഡ് ഡെറ്റ്. ഇൻ യുവർ ജഡ്ജ്മെന്റ് ഇറ്റ് ഷുഡ് ബി 12% of debtors, but management puts 25% of debtors. Their judgment, management judgment 25%, and what you think it is 12. You feel their judgment is inappropriate. The difference between 25% of management, 12% of yours is called as judgmental. Okay. Harsha. So what should be the conclusion on that? Can someone guide our brother? He's asking what should be the conclusion. Once you identify this as a misstatement, you will evaluate. Now, what is the procedure to evaluation? I'll say in the next page. Last page is that. So guys, by the way, this is part of the chapter number 3 in our ICA material. Guys, what are you doing? Tea, coffee? What is happening over there? If this is clear, you should say, proceed, no? I'm waiting. You were waiting for me to ask? Achada. Okay. Can you think that you are an auditor? Usual in your audits, no? You do audit in your firms. So what happens? You identify a lot of misstatements. Here first, hear me. You identify a lot of misstatements. Then what will you do? The articles or assistants will write all the misstatements on the query paper or the audit notebook. Now you will say to the principal. Principal will consider how it will affect, is it material, whether it should be communicated, he will consider. Once considered, now step. First you will say to the management, if they don't correct, you will see its impact, reasons why. Then if management is not correct, you will communicate with the, if management doesn't communicate with the TCWG. And if they say, Array Harsh, Auditor Harsh, it is immaterial, leave it, then you give it in writing. You obtain a written representation, finally document. Are we clear? Nothing in that flow, no. I always say in the class that I don't like mnemonics at all. That's byparting, I feel. So go in a flow, guys. How many mnemonics are you going to study out? Withdraw from engagement. And a withdraw from engagement is not an option. Correct. Withdraw from engagement is not an option always. Can someone guide our brother? Withdraw from engagement is mainly when a case where there is a limitation by management and you would need to give a disclaimer of opinion. Usually that is the case. Always, epome, withdrawal is not possible. That we learn in essay 705. There no need to withdraw. That's right. That's right. Whatever you said is right. Both of you are right. So can we continue? Come on, come on, come on. Last part. First step, what will you do? I don't think practically you are the doing the audit. You have identified all the misstatement. You to your principal, you will say he will consider everything. So first step will what accumulate the what misstatement identified misstatements unless it is clearly trivial. So first step is to be very simple. You will accumulate. Once accumulated, your principal will consider, oh, all the misstatements. We have fixed 5 lakh. 5 lakh is the materiality. Our materiality is 5 lakh. All the misstatement together is 15 lakh, 1 5. Juju. Consideration of what? Misstatements as the audit. As the audit progresses. Now wait. This can be asked as a separate question also. At all these 7 points, how auditor will respond, they can ask you. Or this question alone can be asked, this point. What point? As an auditor, how would you consider consideration? Can you say, how will you consider? Your misstatement together 15 lakh. It's not like what I thought. You may need to revise your audit. What? SA 300. You may need to revise your audit strategy and audit plan. SA 300. Now, whether the aggregate of misstatement approaches the materiality benchmark, SA 320. Now you will request whom to examine? Management to examine. And on top of that, you will perform your AP. AP is audit procedure. But they can ask this alone, consideration alone as a separate question also. Okay. Okay. But you have accumulated, you have considered. Now next step. Parada solunga. Come on. Chalo. Or in what? You will communicate and ask them to correct it. Communicate and correction. Communication. Communication and correction of misstatement. Communication and correction of what misstatements? Identified misstatements. When on a timely basis, then and there. If management says, no, we can't correct. Why? Tell me. Understand the reasons. So that was the third step where you will communicate and ask management to correct. Now, fourth step, evaluate the effect of. And till now, we were saying which misstatement identified, here also identified, here also identified. Now it becomes, Abhiram, undetected, uncorrected, Akuta. Very good. Now it becomes the effect of uncorrected misstatements. So you will see whether it is material, including misstatements of prior period. Any essay came to your mind? Prior period, there is a misstatement, you have to analyze it. Any standard other than this came to your mind? Essays 510 and one more standard is there. 710. Okay. Okay. If material, the uncorrected misstatement, including prior period, how it affects the account balance, class of transaction, disclosure. I hope you guys know A, B, C, D. A, B is account balance, class, balance sheet. C, class of transaction, P&L. D, disclosure, notes. Now that's the third step. Third and the fourth. So you will evaluate the effect of what uncorrected misstatements. Now say to them, no, Uparwala, you say to Uparwala, if not corrected, communicate with the TCWG unless prohibited by law. If that word is common, I mean most of the standard. If there is nothing against law, you communicate with TCWG. TCWG, essay 260. So next step is communication with the TCWG. Now, climax da. So TCWG says, auditor, all these are immaterial. Don't first give us in writing. Obtain. WR is written representation. Essay 580. That what? In the like what? Uncorrected misstatements are immaterial. But obtaining a written representation does not mean we will give a clean opinion. As a safeguard, we will obtain and we may modify. That's our stand. That's 705. Finally, so this step you obtain WR, no. WR means written representation. Now, future reference you will document. So what all you will document? Identified misstatements. What you found out, identified. Then, in that, you thought some misstatements are trivial. Future reference you should know. And you will also document uncorrected misstatement. Documentation, essay 230. So that's the last step where you will document. But I hope that flow you got. First step you accumulated, then you considered, then you communicated, then you saw what is the effect, then you talked with communicated with TCWG, obtained WR, written representation, and document. Last, one more thing. With that, we are winding up essay 450 fully. After that, I will give you 3 minutes rest after this. Ask now what it is. I want to ask you one more thing. Source. Source. Sauce alla. Source. Source of what? Misstatements. From where all these misstatements can come? I'm asking you source. First, dash itself is wrong. The sales is 10 crore, but they have entered one of the sales as 1 crore. So, first step, data is inappropriate. Wrong data. Data is wrong. Now, if data is correct, dash used to process data is wrong. Accounting. Policy is wrong. Now, data okay. Policy is also okay. Now, management side, guys. Management puts 2 things. Judgment of management is unreasonable. Or estimates made by the management is not proper. Now, everything is correct. There is some kind of omission. These are the broad sources of misstatement. First, data. If data okay, policy. That okay from management side is judgment and estimates made by them are unreasonable, inappropriate. If all okay, something is omitted in financial. So these are the source of mistake. With that, essay 450 is fully done. Can you give me a reply whether it is okay or not? 450. Someone asked me a doubt. Second step, second and third point. Which one? 1 second. 1 second. At all your doubt, I'll give you 2 minutes. Others, you can take rest. Thank you. 1 second. Okay. Which point? Who asked me the doubt? Question solving is only towards the end. Otherwise, 3 hours I won't be able to finish again. That's why. Question solving towards the end. So guys, this point. Okay, those who asked me doubt, all the misstatements together. Okay, it's less than the 5 lakh which you fixed. It's okay. It is clearly trivial. Trivial means you know it is immaterial. Gopinath, you know it is immaterial. Chota, there is no doubt. Okay. Third point. If you find it is so issue, you will ask the management to examine it. I left off who asked me the doubt. Did you understand? I think I explained that now. You consider the misstatement whether it meets the materiality, meaning whether the 5 lakh. If it is meeting the materiality or more than your materiality, you will ask the management to examine it. Fourth point is you will evaluate the effect of uncorrected misstatements, like whether the uncorrected misstatements, how it will affect. Even if there is an uncorrected misstatement in prior period, you will examine. Why opening balance, let's say 510, 710. So if there is a misstatement including prior periods which we found out in the current audit, you will ask them to examine. And you will see its impact on ABCD. ABCD means account balance, class of transaction, and disclosures. Trivial means less than materiality, meaning immaterial, which does not need your consideration. Immaterial, Kuta. Immaterial misstatement that does not require your attention. Nisar. That's called as trivial. Time up. PP is prior period. PP is prior period. Hello. Are you all done? Any other doubts? So guys, what is the next option? Two more options are, two more things are there. Professional ethics amendment and one more thing, main thing, Nbfc. So take 1 more minute rest. After that, can we go to ethics? So wait. Any other doubts? Okay. So what news, guys? How is things? How's things going? How is things going? No one is replying. All good? And I've said many times, I don't know whether you have heard, even if it is not good, please spread positivity. Say, we are trying to be good. We are okay. We are happy. We will go. And guys, Come on, be positive, spread positivity. Don't ever spread the negative. There are a lot of people to spread negative. You don't join that group. You be in the minority interest of spreading positivity. Okay? Sherry. So with those words, can we start with what? Professional. Professional ethics. Okay. 1 second. Let me open. That's right. Correct. And so in with respect to ethics, 1 second, I'll just open. Yes, please. With respect to ethics, I don't know whether, yeah, PE questions 75. If you see in our class itself, we would have solved 50 questions plus. So, yeah, let's not worry about PE question for the time being. Let's go to amendments. Okay. There are only two amendments in ethics as such. Okay, what are the two amendments? The first one is regarding the ESB decisions. Already we had some 30, 34 decisions. Okay, those decisions were there. Now they've added 12 more ESB decisions. Let me say one thing to you very clearly. You say, how many clauses are there in PE? Hi guys, how many clauses are there in PE? 12, 2, 3, 2, 10, 4, 1. And I total it, no. 12, 2, 3, 2, first schedule. 10, 4, 1, second schedule. 34 clauses are there. Then coming to council guidelines. One or two guideline I'll say. Ceiling limit on audits is there. Then in case of certain audits, ceiling limit on fees is there. Then there is corporate practices there, write-up guidelines, website guidelines, article assistance guidelines, yeah, book to be maintained guidelines. Okay, a lot of guidelines are there, council guidelines of ICAI. Then you have now on top of that ESB decisions. Around 45 number of ESB decisions are there. That's right. ESB decisions are there. Now, given a question, you should be able to identify whether the question falls in the clauses. Say, for example, a question is there. CA Christina is going to enter into a partnership with uncle in her textile business. Is it clause or guidelines or ESB? A uncle in textile business, you cannot enter into partnership with uncle. Partnership only with few people are allowed, like CA, professional bodies, person but for residents, and ICA prescribed. So which one? Clause or council guidelines or ESB? It is clause, which is clause for part 1 first schedule. Now, second thing, a CA in practice did not maintain the books of accounts. Someone was saying. It is council guidelines. Okay, so as per council guidelines, ICAI is issued, C in practice should maintain irrespective of income, cash book and ledger. Now, if you violate that, you are guilty under clause 1, part 2, second schedule. Basically, the clause which I said will apply, Ghanshyam. Now you should know what are the things under ESB. 45 are there. If you want me to take all the 45, our time will go. So if you want to take see the old decisions of ESB, it's there in my YouTube posted. Right now, I'm going to say the 12 newly added ESB decisions. Makla, are we clear? You want me to ask one more question before we start? One more question I'll ask. You say clause or guideline or ESB, you say. CA Lisa. Lisa. Okay. She is the auditor of a listed company. Her fee is, stat audit fee is 5 lakh. She is doing a representation for 7 lakh. A tax representation for 7 lakh. and she is doing other MCS for 2 lakh. Guilty, not guilty. Okay, you say clause, council guidelines, ESB, guilty or not guilty? Answer is, this is as per the council guidelines. There is a point. Listed company, government company, etc. Your stat audit fee should be more than fee for other service. But here, your stat audit fee is 5 lakh. MCS is only 2 lakh. Fine. Representation before authority and certification is exempt from this. Any amount of fee you can take for representation and certification because it's just continuation of audit only. So this is as per the council guideline, not guilty. And for professional ethics, that's why I said you should be able to identify whether the question asks is from clauses 34 or whether it is from council decisions. If so, if you violate, guilty as per clause 1, part 2, second schedule. What? Contravene the Act, regulation guidelines, and 45 ESB decisions, of which 12 we are going to take, which is the amendment. Gora Prasanna. I was saying a lot of things. Did you understand this? Okay, when our brother is asking the 12 which we are going to discuss, newly added amendment of older. I said no, it is newly added one. ICAI is lavish on this because they wanted ICAI is your Amma. Amma wanted kids to be good. So they are adding. Earlier it was only 20, then 34, now 45. 12 added. Chalo. And a first settler, I will exactly say the words. First, I will discuss this and then I will exactly say the words. Okay. So, come on, let me know. You remember BRSR? It's there in the syllabus to study also. BRSR is Business Responsibility Sustainable Reporting. It's there in our chapter number 18, Emerging Areas. Okay. Now, BRSR. Carefully listen up. Can you give advisory services to the company on BRSR? Can I give an advisory services? And you have to remember, always the advisory services are allowed. You can become you can become advisors of a company, you can become the equity research advisors, but one advisory is prohibited. Anyone? Generally, advisory is allowed. One advisory is prohibited. Anyone? It's part of commodity derivative is not advisory, Kuta. Subhi, can you be specific? At a financial advisors, portfolio management. Allah. Very good. Financial advisors of mutual fund, insurance, NBFCs are prohibited. It's there in ESB itself. Why? Financial advisors of mutual fund, NBFC means full-time business, no, financial institution. Other than that advisory, generally other advisories are permitted. Can you put in your mind, equity research advisory allowed, BRSR advisory allowed, Sada company advisory allowed. All advisory are allowed. It's a part of MCS, Management Consultancy Services. However, financial advisors of financial institutions are not allowed. Are you clear? So here, can you do BRSR, Business Responsibility Sustainable Reporting Advisory? Answer is yes. Can you give an assurance on BRSR prepared by management? We learn in chapter 18, Emerging Area. Answer is yes. Now, can you prepare BRSR statement? Now, you prepare for a company is not allowed. That's a responsibility of management. So what you can't do, preparation on BRSR is company, not you. Advisory allowed, assurance on BRSR, they prepared is also allowed. I'll go 2 rounds with this. Okay. Can I go to 2? I'll say all these things once more quickly, okay, towards the end. Come on, guys. Life is a race. Run, 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 run. Can be? Can you do compilation engagement if you are the auditor of a company? Say Divya, CA Divya. She is the auditor of Puttu Limited. Okay. Can she, the Divya, do the audit as well as compilation engagement? Answer is no. Actually, SRS 4000 410. Either you can compile or you can do the audit, not at the same time. It already very good. It's a self-review threat. Already, this is actually it's not allowed. Section 144 prohibited services. That is Companies Act. In CA Act clause, anyone? There is another clause which says a small hint of this. It's a substantial interest, guys. You're already doing the accounting services, and if you're appointed as auditor, substantial interest. Clause 4, Part 1, second schedule. There was a hint there. Now, ESP decision, cut right, they said, if you are doing compilation engagement under SRS 4410, then you should not be the auditor. Or auditor cannot do compilation, either one at a time. But a compilation, SRS chapter 9, chapter 18, chapter 9. Now, next. 3333. Can CAs do service assessment, performance audit of government? In PSU auditor, we study propriety auditor, performance auditor, comprehensive compliance, etc. So for the government entities, government service sectors, for the skill development, etc., can you, a practicing CA, do the performance audit? Answer is yes. It's a part like MCS. Whenever it is government, like Udyog Aadhar registration, all that are allowed. Government, na. Mystery audit. Even before this newly addition came, I used to say in class, mystery audit. Is that allowed? Correct, correct, correct. There only. Answer is yes. I will repeat all once more. Huh? Can you mention promoter and director in the company's web portal? Okay. Let me ask like this. Answer is yes. Very good. Let me ask like this. Can you become a director? Simplicity director. Is it allowed? Yes. Where said it is allowed? Can you say clause guidelines are ESB? No. It's basically in clause 11.1.1. Clause 11, part 1, first schedule. Now, can the director mention his professional attainments in their offer documents? No. Which place said no? You are guilty. Raha, one more kutta. Two places are there. Clause 7 and clause 6. Okay, you want me to write reverse? Clause 6 and 7, part 1, first schedule. Both will apply. Now they are asking, illa. Now they are asking, can the promoter or director mention the position in the web portal? Answer is yes. But if you're going to say your unwanted, what you call publicity or attainments, etc., again, you will be guilty as per clause 6 and 7, first schedule, part 1. Part 1, first schedule. Just mention is allowed without saying professional attainments. Bharat, clear? And only 2 more. After that, I will pause. Can you say proceed? Live. Can you become the director of a CSS cooperative society? Answer is, let us see. Again, I will bifurcate that. Can you become a usual director, simplicit director? Answer is yes. Clause 11, Part 1, first schedule. Can you become an MD or WTD? I mean, Managing Director or Whole-Time Director? Generally, no, unless there's a special resolution taken under 11.1.1 as per the regulation 190. Now, can you become an MD or WTD in a company substantially interested as auditor? Answer is no, because if you are interested as auditor and if you are appointed as director, conflicting. Director, if you are holding the director position, you will be disqualified under section 141. That's also right. So there is no question of special permit, special resolution if you are already the auditor. മനസ്സിലായോടാ simplicit director is generally allowed. MD or WTD is allowed. Generally not allowed. If you want, you have to take SR, special resolution. However, if you are interested as an auditor, there is no question of becoming a director because you will be disqualified there. Can you acknowledge? Illi. Now, there are other cases also, guys. You can become director in a cooperative bank like that. Okay, you can become a director in CB's cooperative bank. You can become the director in a corporate form of practice. All are allowed. So now can you say director in the board of management of a cooperative society? Is it allowed? Sada director, simplicit director is allowed. But you should not involve in routine operations. MCS company, Adarsh, last I said, you can become corporate form of practice. You can become director in an MCS company. Finally, all these things I'm not concerned here, but I was just linking with the previous points. Last one, with that pause. Can a CA set up the practice in IFSC, Gift City, the Gujarat International, that zones? Can you set up your practice in Gift City and IFSC? International Financials and Gujarat, what you call? Tech City. Yeah, Finance Tech City. Answer is yes. Why not? Okay. You can set up practice. From there, can you render services to outside the Gift City? You have set up your practice in Gift City IFSC. Can you render to outsiders? Answer is yes. So guys, I've said 8 points out of the 12 newly added, which needs explanation. So can you acknowledge whether you understood or not? Then only I will proceed. No, everyone has to say, otherwise, why you should have all the fun? I will have fun. Example for mystery auditor. You have appointed by a branded showroom. Okay, how the customers are treated. You will go in disguise. Divya, yes. And you will go as in disguise and then, okay. 8th point. You did 2 mystery auditor. Very good. Linking is great. And if I had time, I would have linked the entire P. Those who attended the class, just ask them. Always be linked. And now, can you just pause your doubts for 5 minutes? Is that okay? Da ഒരു 5 minute. 5 minutes. Pause. I want to repeat all the 8. Then again, if you have doubt, I will repeat. Is that okay? Otherwise, time will go, guys. Nothing else. Pogamo, Pogalama. Can we proceed? Hello. Okay. So these 8 points, but I'll repeat, Kuta. Don't worry. I won't leave you like this with your doubts and go. Don't worry, Deepti. IFSC is like, what you call, like a CES, Gujarat, it's a special zone. You study in tax, no? Special zone. Can you put your practice there? Yes. It's something like that. Special zone. Now, guys, mystery auditor. Last, which example I used to say? I have been appointed as the auditor of Adidas. Okay. Uh, mystery audit is like you are appointed in disguise, like for Adidas brand. You'll go to that Adidas shop and in disguise you will check how the customers are treated. That's called as the mystery audit. Now I want everyone to say, I know you might have doubts. I will clarify after you give me 5 minutes. Now, anything which is asked from these 12 decisions, how will you start for the exam? Bharat, I'm coming to that. You will write as per the recent ESB decisions. Okay, anything which is asked from these 45 decisions are there. So anything asked from these 45, you can start as per the recent decisions issued by ESB. Now, what if you violate any of these ESB decisions? Come on. What if you violate any of these ESB decisions? Then you will be guilty as per clause 1, part 2, second schedule. Why? ESB is ICAI, no. If you violate that, contravene the Act, regulation, guidelines. Clause 1, part 2, second schedule. So can you now sit and learn with me? Exact sentence I'll say. Okay? Please let me know. 1 second. First point. Repeater. Not permissible for which auditor? Statutory auditor. Okay. To prepare. Prepare is not allowed. Prepare is not allowed. What? BRSR. For the audit clients. Other than audit clients, can you prepare BRSR? Can you come over again? Other than for audit client, you can prepare. For the audit client where you are the statutory auditor, you should not prepare. Two things are allowed. Can you say what are the two things which is allowed, guys? One, may provide advisory services. Advisory services. Plus, assurance on BRSR is allowed. Preparation not allowed. Advisory and assurance is allowed for audit clients. Audit clients. Now link this with chapter number 18, emerging areas. Okay, now I want everyone to say, if one clear, two. I won't be going back to the doubts. If you have any doubts, it's now the time. I won't be repeating this again. Huh? Okay. So, statutory auditor of the entity. Okay. Not permitted to engage in what engagements? Come on. Compilation engagement. As per SRS, 4400 or 4410 na? That's right. 4,410. 4,400 is what? 4,400 is what? 4,400 is agreed upon services. So again, this you link it with the chapter 9 SRS related services. Okay, va? Okay, now next. This is again, if you are the auditor, then only you should not provide compilation. If you are not auditor, you can do either one at a time. And if okay, put to 3. Quick. 3. Whenever it comes to government, there is something else for government, Udyogada registration, all that are allowed. So a same practice can engage as service assessment, performance audit of skill development. It's a part of, what is this section? Section 2, clause 2, 2 to 4. It is permissible as a part of management consultancy services. So, assessment audit, service assessment, performance audit is allowed. Clear aaninga adutha varnode. Clear na next solle. Come on, proceed. No, if clear, say the next. 4. And all of you were asking me about mystery audit. I would love to say all these things, but time illa. So, can you say, CA in practice can accept the assignment of what? Mystery audit, where you go in disguise and check how the customers are treated. Usually for branded, etc., they do appoint it. Okay, branded. Okay. Now, next. A CA in practice can mention, you remember we were linking with the clauses. CA in practice can mention as director or promoter of the company on portal, web portal of the company. However, he should not mention the professional attainments or the firm name. Now, this we have already studied. If you mention, you will be guilty under Harsha clause 6 and 7 of part 1 first schedule. But you remember, you can become director, clause 11 part 1 first schedule, 11.1.1. But you should not mention the attainment 6 and 7 part 1 first schedule. Here they are saying, you can mention your name as usual promoter or director in your portal. That's right. But I'll give you 5 minutes break after finishing PE. Okay? Can you go to 6? What is 6? A CA in practice can become professional. Come on. Director in the management of cooperative bank, cooperative society. Bank and society all are allowed. Society committee or the cooperative bank, it's allowed. See, director we have discussed, I'm not saying again. Cooperative society committee or cooperative bank, it's allowed. I don't know. Members can set up practice in Shivani, it should be. See, director ordinary without involving in the operations is generally allowed. That is said in the clause itself, clause 11, part 1, without involving in routine. So in the ESB, they are clarifying. In the cooperative bank, you can, in the cooperative society, you can. They're just clarifying that. But you should not involve in the, what you call, routine operations. Nothing else other than sitting fees. Okay. And our next one, you've set up. Members can set up practices in where IFSC or gifted city. It's like a special zone. There you can set up the practice, but requirement has to be met. Now, this is the last point which I explained. Okay. Members can render professional services to outside units from offices outside gift city. Meaning, from IFSC, you can render to outsiders. From outsiders, you can render to the units inside gift city. Either way, it's allowed. You can establish an IFSC and render outsiders. From outside also, inside you can render. Anything is fine. They are allowing it. But I have been explaining till here in detail. And once more, I've said only, yes, Harsh, only 4 more. Can we go to the next? Come on, NBFC will go after this. Baby, calm down. Baby, calm down. Before this, IFSC, is it prohibited? Nothing was said. This is newly added. Now they said expressly it's allowed. Gopinath, don't worry. And next one. Can you publish your vision, values, mission, values behind the visiting card, etc.? Answer is yes. You not allowed, guys. Who said yes? No, 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 no. You should not put your vision, values in the letterhead, visiting card, stationery. Array, guys, it was expressly prohibited under which clause? Maitri, come on, Kuta. Letterhead, visiting card. 1,000 times we have said no, it is 711. It is 611, it is advertisement, circular, profession, personal communication, any other means. Letterhead, letterhead, visiting card, signboard, professional, 7. Okay. Now wait. They are not saying about the website, Bharat. Here they are saying in letterhead, visiting card, etc. It's not done. Now wait. May be printed on firm's profile. Write up profile. But profile should be given only to those person on a specific request. Like you should not distribute the profile to everyone. If a client or a prospective client asks you, you can give. This we have already learned in 611. Anyone remembers? Can you circulate the firm's profile to prospective clients? Can you repeat? Yes, no. Can you circulate your firm's profile to prospective clients? The answer is no, unless they ask you. Otherwise, they'll keep a person and distribute to everyone like a pamphlet. Okay. So I repeat this point. I won't repeat again. Vision, values behind these things, letterhead, visiting card, etc. You cannot do. However, on profile, you can give your vision. However, it should be given to client only if they ask you. Prospective means future client. Client agalam. They can be your client. Gopinath? Varap for a client. Not yet our client, they might be our client soon. Can I go to 10? Guys, I have only 3 more minutes to finish. Come on. You are a statutory auditor of a bank. Statutory auditor. When you are the statutory auditor, can you accept the assignment of ASM for the bank? ASM, Aryamo, Tirima, you know? ASM means Agency for Specialized Monitoring. Like it's like this. For big clients. Okay, say a bank has given, I'm not saying X bank has given to a client, and a loan. That loan is 50% of the total loan of the bank. Big clients. For big loan clients, bank will appoint an auditor or a CA or anyone to do an ASM. ASM means it's like a specialized monitoring. How that client business is working. Because bank has to get the repayment of loan. So can you do ASM? Yes. But can you do to the bank where you are the auditor? Answer is no. Either one at a time. You can accept either audit or ASM for that particular bank. ASM is Agency for Specialized Monitoring appointed by bank. At 11, please. See, whenever comes to internal auditor, lot of places they are exempt. See, if, say, for example, internal auditor does not have that indebtedness, how much indebtedness are allowed? Indebtedness or guarantee up to 1 lakh. That internal auditor need not be concerned. Internal auditor can hold shares of the company. Internal auditor, there is no substantial interest clause. Clause 4, Part 1, second schedule. Clause 4, Part 1, second schedule is not applicable to internal auditor. So internal audit, it's very lavish, or you so what you say? Strict alla. It's not strict. Right now they bought out a decision. Array, see in practice, you are an internal auditor of a company. For the same company, you should not act as a procurement auditor, procurement officer also. If Aradhana is the internal auditor of Puttu, for the same company, she should not act as a procurement officer. This was the one of the first restriction imposed on internal auditor by ESBs. General internal audit is very lavish. So if you are the internal auditor, you cannot become the procurement officer for the same entity. Maklai, last one. Chenno, last one. Come on. 12. Which was the clause which we said percentage of fees is allowable? Percentage. Harsh percentage. Clause 10, part 1, first schedule. See, percentage of fees contingent upon findings is not allowed except as per regulations. As per regulations. Can you say few regulations? Valuation for direct taxes. Then what? Liquidator, receiver. Then non-audit services for non-audit clients, insolvency professionals, receiver. All these are as per where? Allowed as per where? And all these are allowed as per. Debt recovery is allowed as per. And do not 10. 10.11 is correct. 10.11 followed by council regulations. Council regulation number 192. 190 is 11.11. It's not 190A, Kuta. It is 192. Okay. Now wait. ESB brought out a new decision. Instead of council, ESB said, government will give you grant of say 10 crore. Utilize this. Tell me an amount of utilization. 5 crore. Okay. Now you need to give a utilization certificate to the government. Correcta? Sharia? How much is utilization certificate? CA can give the utilization certificate and he can charge the fee based on utilized grant. Meaning, percentage of 10 crore, percentage of 5 crore. Makla, percentage of 5 crore. Now guys, be very careful. Don't mix it up. You might ending up, I'm not saying losing marks. We'll leave it. What is allowed in regulations? That 8 or 9 points are there. Like valuation, insolvency, IP, non-audit services, cost optimization, certain management, debt recovery. That is council regulation. Now this is ESB. CA practice can charge what? Percentage of fees. How? Based on the utilization amount. Mainly for which institution they said? They said specifically for education institute. Now, ma'am, is it only for education? I'll say my idea, I'll say this is only for education. Now you will ask me, other than education, what to do? Council guidelines, last point you remember, council regulation, non-audit services for non-audit clients, it's allowed. However, if a question comes from education institute, percentage of grant utilization, don't write council regulation, write ESB. Bharat, I've said. Makle manasilavunnundoda puriyuda. Are you getting the points? Okay. So these are the 12 guidelines which was issued. I have not just discussed the guidelines. I've been going to clauses, regulations, blah, blah, blah. Time is running. One more thing I'll say and then 5 minutes break. So the KK asked me, what one more thing? 12th point you want me to repeat? Government grant, government grant utilization certificate you should give. So you can charge fee based on utilization amount. You remember my example, 5 crore utilization, you can charge as a fee based on percentage. Yeah, we said in the beginning, no, if any of the ESB decision is not followed, then 1, 2, 2. Correct. Makla, can I wind up by saying one more thing? These 12 are the newly added ESB decisions. Along with that, we have added one more, which is logo guidelines. Hey, you are aware, no? ICAI has issued it's around 1.5 years now. New logo. So use of logo on letterhead, visiting card, professional documents. Council has decided the new logo. I'm just saying the new logo. New tri-color logo. See in which color? Blue color. With tricolor tick mark and India. Members are encouraged to use this logo. And 1 year is elapsed. November 23, I guess they have. This date is not there in material. I'm saying practically. November 23 also they issued. Now it's 1 year transition is over. You should not alter. You should not use any other color platelet than ICAI said. You should not tilt, rotate. So not much of amendment. Instead of old logo, now new India tricolor logo. But which clause can I link it with for logo? Logo in letterhead, LH. Visiting card, Divya. Professional document, 711. The why you guys are messing up 611 and 711, guys. Clause 6, part 1, first schedule. It is mainly advertisement, circular, what else? What else? What else? What else? Personal communication, interview, any other means. Two are allowed. 611, two are allowed. One from another CA in practice you can solicit or you can respond. Now when you compare it with 711, four places are there. Letterhead, visiting card, signboard, other professional doc like envelope. Only one thing is allowed, which is write down. Now below this there are 17 or 18 guidelines, 17 to be exact. Below this also there are 14 or 15. So guys, with that we are winding up. Letterhead, visiting card, signboard, SBS signboard. If you ask me, ESB ல the question வருமா? வரலாம். It can come, of course. Who said? Especially newly added, no? We can expect. Expect the unexpected. That's what life is teaching us. So always expect the unexpected. So guys, only one more thing. After 4 more minutes, 1 minute over, 4 more minutes of rest, we'll start with Nbfc. Okay, just take rest for 3 more minutes, 1 minute over, 3 more minutes. For Nbfc, I'm just going to take the amendments. Okay, so what I'm concentrating is in this session, I'm going in detail the amendments. I don't know how many of you have read my message about today's session. I said very specifically, I will be covering 3 things, 450 full P amendment and Nbfc amendment only. But I want to discuss Nbfc questions also. So I need your support, guys. So last 2 more minutes. Then we'll proceed. Tell me one thing. I mean, tell me something other than auditing. It's like for mind to be refreshed. Anything you can ask, anything you can say other than auditing. Just 1.5 minutes now. Come on, your time starts now. Anything than auditing. Come on. என்ன டிஃபனா தெரியலையே. How was my birthday? Nothing. It was your usual day, but my son gave me a cake and card. And a dress also. I forgot. My son gave me a dress also. Oda Kritika ஒரு dress கொடுத்தான். A green dress. I forgot. I asked him, from where did you get the money? Which team I support IPL? So guys, time up. All go back to cages. Time up. Time up. Time up. Time up. Can you all get back to cages? With all due respect, we are watchdogs. That's why I asked you to go back to cages, right? Get back to cage. Let's start NBFC. Tada. Stressed. Very good. Think positive. Act positive. Positive things will come. I know, very easy to say, but try practicing, yeah. Every NBFC. Ah. I will touch on the amendments. Touch Allah. I will explain the amendments only, but I would like to say one thing and start. Chinna chinna ase, chota chota ase, chariya chariya agram. Can I say one thing before I start with the amendments, please? See, NBFC is chapter 14. Okay. Bank and NBFC. Now, for an NBFC, okay, for a company to be an NBFC, there are three primary conditions. Can someone say what are the three primary conditions for a company to be NBFC? First thing is, very good. First thing is they should meet 50:50 test. These are not amendments, so I'm just starting off with an introduction. Total asset, you'll take, if total asset is 100, okay, more than 50 out of this 100 should come from financial asset. Problem can be asked. Problem means mathematical question can be asked. How will you take? Total asset you will take minus. There's a point which you have to consider. Total asset minus intangible asset. Total asset 100. Intangible asset 10. How much you take? 100 minus 10, 90. 90. Now, out of this 90, more than 50 percentage, meaning more than 45, should come from which asset? Financial asset. And what is the next to 50? One is financial asset. Next to 50 is total income is say 10. More than 5 should come from which income? Financial income. It is and both should be met. Financial asset and financial income. Second, you should obtain what? For next one, COR from RBI, certificate of registration. You should meet net owned funds. Net owned funds requirement should be met. So two conditions. Second is certificate of registration from RBI. But for RBI to give certificate of registration, net owned funds should be also met. And last, they should comply with the prudential norms. 4 prudential norms are there. One thing is capital requirements, asset classification, income recognition, provisioning. Now, all these things I will take in detail. Please hear now. Prudential norms are 4. 1, capital requirements, capital adequacy. Then asset classification. Then income recognition. And one thing I left off, income recognition and provisioning. Okay. Now, of this, there are three changes here, or rather, three amendments are there. One, capital requirement. Actually, major changes are capital requirements, asset classification, income recognition, provisions. Then, net owned funds. I will take all these which I have highlighted in detail. So I'm now just saying one thing. For an institution company to be NBFC, three things. 50:50 test they have to pass. They have to obtain COR and meet net owned funds. Otherwise, COR will be cancelled. Prudential norms of these three, four. These four should be satisfied. Can you give me an acknowledgement whether you understood? Okay. Now, are you following whatever I'm saying? Marathon means it should be fast. No, that's why I'm going fast. Sherry. Caro. But when you hear about NBFC, what will come to your mind? I've already put Caro. Caro, which clause? Clause number 15 is non-cash transaction with related party. It is 16. Caro clause 16. Can you say, Caro, how many subclauses in clause 16? A, B, C, D. 4. See it as A, B, C, D. A said what? Whether obtain COR from RBI under section 45AA. Whether conducting housing finance activity without a certificate. Whether your company is a core investment company meeting the criteria. Whether the group has more than one core investment company. Are we clear? So, Caro clause 16 also will apply for NBFC audit. Now, guys, NBFC, before the amendment, okay, usually they used to say too big NBFC. What are the two big NBFC? I mean, big. I mean, two classification were there. We can say like this, two classifications. It used to be NBFC D, deposit accepting, and it used to be NBFC ND, non-deposit accepting. This again subdivided into non-deposit. ND is non-deposit, D is deposit. ND is divided into NBFC, non-deposit, systemically important, and others. NBFC, ND. Before the amendment, those who were studying, it used to be like this, I will say. Regulations for NBFC D and NBFC NDSI, big, separate, and others separate. Now, after the change, instead of this classification, what they are saying, they're not saying for ND this much. Now they are saying for, where is it? For NBFC base layer. Makla? NBFC base layer regulation. Base layer, chota. Now, NBFC middle layer and others, bada. So now they are doing the classification like this. Instead of earlier was NBFC D and NDSI and others. Now they are saying for base layer, this much provision. For other than base layer, middle and others, this much provision. So instead of saying this, now they are using the word for base layer, this is the provision asset classification, this is how you do. For middle layer and others, this is how you do. And can you acknowledge whether you understood that? No, everyone should understand. It is an important thing. Secret. Can I say? The secret. Ask me what? Like in professional ethics, I told you, you should understand what is in clause, what is in guideline, what is in ESD. Similarly, NBFC, there are 4 reporting requirements. Can you say what are the 4 requirements? After that, I'll start amendments. First, you will give a statutory audit report. LFR എവിടെയാ കുട്ടാ? അത് ബാങ്ക് അല്ലേ? Statutory audit report as per essay 700 series. For whom are you giving this report? RBI or board of director or shareholder? To whom? This is to shareholders now. Now, on top of the statutory report, you will give CARO reporting. And a CARO reporting 2021 clauses. To whom you will give? The CARO, Company Auditor's Report Order. That's a part of your audit report. Again, it is to shareholders. NBFC is a company, a non-banking financial company. Now, on top of that, there is another report called as, our RBI has said, NBFC Auditor's Report RBI Directions 2016. That's a small change. RBI Directions 2016. There's amendment there. Okay. To whom you give? This additional report is given to whom? Very good. Board of Directors by auditor. Finally, if you find there is some issues in NBFC, they are violating the guidelines, they are violating the act or directions, then you will give a exceptional report. An exceptional report to whom? Amma, your kids are doing like this, Amma. Who's NBFC's mother? RBA. Now, guys, this is a very sensitive case when it comes to a question. What? No, very easy, no? No. Actually, it's easy if you understand what, where. What is in statutory audit report? Those 14 elements as per SA 700. What is in CARO? These 4 points in CARO. Now, this is very important. I will touch only amended area. I won't say full. Lot of things are there. Exception report is to RBI. So what is in direction? What is in CARO? What is in statutory and what and when to give exception report? You have to clearly differentiate. Did you hear that? So, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 areas, guys. Sada report, CARO report, auditor's report, directions, and exception report. So once you are clear, I was just giving you the sum up an area where usually messing up happens. So once you have done, let me know. I'll start with the amendment. Hi, all of you went or what? Or having food or what? What is happening? Hello. May I know who all are present with me? Hi. Okay, you want me to say what are the amendments? Amendments is like 5. 5. 1. Net owned funds. NOF, net owned funds. 2. That's the most important. Capital requirements, capital adequacy. 3. Other prudential norm, asset classification, income recognition, provisioning. 4th, this directions, deposit directions slightly changed. Deposit directions alone, I will say, and very minute change in exception report. Very minute change. So these are the places which I will touch. Touch and explain. So if all set, good to go. Put NOF. NOF means net owned funds. Then I'll start. Start, camera, action. So I'm starting with the first one, NOF, net owned funds, right? Now, don't talk, don't ask anything else other than NOF for the time being. Okay? Come on, guys. What is NOF? Net owned funds. Okay. Now, net owned funds, earlier, earlier, it should be, previously it was 2 crore. Okay. Even before 2 crores, it was 25 lakhs before 2 crore. Now, 25 lakh changed to 2 crores earlier. Now, from 2 crores, they are changing to 10 crore. So, if I wanted to start an NBFC next month, my net owned funds should be 10 crore. But guys, just think if RBI says at on a particular day, from 2 crore increase to 10 crore, NBFCs will be affected. They might have to close down even. So they said on a phased manner, they've given a glide path. It's like a step by step. But how much was the type in the chat box? How much was the net owned funds earlier? Type, quick. Harsh, I don't want 25, leave 25, 2 crore. Now, how much they want to make it? 10 crore. Now, two exemptions are there for this 10 crore. Come on, two exemptions are there. One, for peer-to-peer account aggregators, NBFC having no public funds. Three exemptions, P2P, peer-to-peer, account aggregators, and no public funds. Okay, all these are in base layer. Very good, very good. That's what I said. All these are NBFCs are there in base layer. For them, they need not increase to 10. They still can continue in 2 crore. First exemption, First exemption. Second exemption is, two infrastructure companies are there. And I used to tell, I say 11 types of NBFC. What? IFC, Infrastructure Finance Company, IDF, Infrastructure Debt Fund. For both these infrastructure, 10, no, they have to maintain at 300 crore. Infrastructure is ML. But I don't know how many of you know, this infrastructure company comes in ML and above. I said no, base layer, Kutti. For them, it's 2 crores. For IFC, this is only, no need to confuse it here. Okay, for infrastructure, it is 300 crores. This is the second, not exemption, second condition. Other than this, any type of NBFCs by 31st March 2027, they should increase to 10 crore. Now they have given a glide path for these three types of NBFCs. They have very specifically said for these three. ICC, Investment Credit Company, current, actually it's not current, it's over. It is 2 crore by 31st March 25. 300, no? And by 31st March 27, 10 crore. The microfinance institution, it was earlier 5, now 31st March 25, now 7 crore by 31st March 27, 10 crore. Factoring 5, 7, 10. Right now, two types of questions you can expect. They will give a net owned funds of NBFC and they will ask you to comment. Okay. Question can be more twisted with the date they will give you. Now, which type of NBFC you have to identify? I'm making the question more complex. Given a question, can someone reply to it? Given a question, first, can you say NOF, net owned funds? Can you say first what is the thing which you have to identify? Which type of NBFC? If a question comes. Second. After you identify the type, then you have to identify the date or the financial in the question. Then conclude NOF not met or met. If not met, certificate of registration will be cancelled. Can you acknowledge whether you understood this? And I'll summarize in 1 minute. After that, all of you have to say amendment 1 is over, amendment 2. Okay. Can someone reply to him? For other than these three, what is a glide path? They did not give glide path. So we can assume that for other than these, by 31st March 27, it should be met. 10 crore. No requirement like this. 2-5 onnu illa. By 31st March, you have to meet. 300 crore is for infrastructure finance company, infrastructure debt fund. 300 crore. But I can't spend much time here. Next is the most important and biggest amendment. Yeah, infrastructure finance company deals with huge project. That's why they have 300 crores of net owned funds. So I'm saying for the last time, after that, say proceed. Minimum was 25, it was raised to 2 crore. It was 2 crore latest. From 2 increased to 10 crore. 2 other categories where P2P, AA, no public funds, they are still required to maintain only 2. Infrastructure angle not 2 or 10, they have to maintain 300. For ICC, MFI and factoring, they have given the glide path. So what about others? I'm guessing that they should, not guessing, it's interpretation that by 31st March 27, it should be made 10 crore. This one. Five amendments, one is over. Wait, you didn't reply, no? No, Vanda. Vanda. No. It's my revenge time, guys. I'm going to take revenge. Can you all reply whether understood and can I proceed? How? Can you all breathe once? Breathe in, breathe out, and give me ready. If you have water, so have a sip of water. Glide path is not example, Kuta. It is something RBI has given. For ICC, 2 crore current. Actually, they issued this last year. Now current is 10th April 25. So right now they have to meet. Right now, how much is the limit for ICC? Can someone type? Right now, if you do the audit of Nbfc, how much it should be? Right now, 5. MFI, 7. Factoring, 7. Okay, that's the path. That's why I said if you get a question, you have to see the type, date, and then conclude. If not met, your COR will be cancelled. I want to go. Can I proceed? Pogalama. Pote. I hope you all drank the water. Now don't keep your face like yo. Okay. Capital requirements. What is capital requirement? Slow and steady wins the race. Slow. Capital adequacy ratio. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Is what? Whenever a ratio comes, like for small kids, I'm saying, whenever a ratio comes, numerator, denominator needed now. I want everyone to reply for every question. Come on. So you should have all the fun. Numerator is needed, denominator is needed. Okay. Capital adequacy ratio. So numerator should be what? Capital. So can you take numerator? Capital funds. NBFC's capital fund is divided into Tier 1 capital. Tier 1 is good quality capital like equity fund, free reserve, good capital. Tier 2, so capital. not so good qualitative. Now, capital funds in the numerator is tier 1 plus tier 2. So, guys, if you want to calculate the numerator, don't you need tier 1 total? Don't you need tier 2 total? Yes. Now, come to denominator. Capital funds divided by risk weighted assets. Okay. An off balance sheet item, risk weighted asset. To calculate the risk weighted asset, come on, what you need? You need the risk value into asset amount you need. When you do this numerator, denominator into 100, and I can all reply whether you understood numerator and denominator. Numeratorly, you need capital funds, which is tier 1 plus tier 2. Denominatorly, you need risk-weighted asset. Calculating risk-weighted, risk also you need, asset value also you need. Now, you got capital and risk-weighted asset into 100. When you do, it should be at least, how much should come? Into 100, when you do, it should be at least 15%, tier 1 and tier 2 total. Of this, tier 1 should be at least 10%. 15. 15. Chalo. Out of this 15, at least 10 should come from tier 1. 10 pora, patad, no. 10 is not enough. If it is a gold lending business, instead of 10, 12 should come from tier 1. And for which business? Gold loan business. When will you take as gold loan? If gold loan is more than 50% of total financial asset. Unless you say understood this much, I won't proceed. I'll repeat for the last time. Capital adequacy ratio, numerator, denominator you need. Numerator capital funds, tier 1 plus tier 2. So you need tier 1 calculation and you need tier 1 calculation and tier 2 calculation, which we'll study. Then you need denominator, risk and asset weight. Asset weight they will give in the question. Not weight, I'm sorry. Asset value they will give in the question. Risk we might need to learn. These two we will learn in the next page. Now when you calculate this into 100, minimum 15% should come. Out of this 15, tier 1, no, this should consist 10%. No, 12% if gold. How gold? How will you identify it's a gold business? If financial asset majority is from gold loans, then instead of tier 1, 10, 12. Unless you all say proceed, I won't proceed. Shivani, other. Amma. Yes. 15% should be capital adequacy ratio, which is numerator by denominator into 100. Out of 15, tier 1 should consist 12%, I said. Okay. And again, I start first numerator or denominator. First, we'll go with numerator. You say numerator, what you want. Allah, you say that I will give you. For numerator, what you need? Capital funds. In capital funds, you need both tier 1 and tier 2. Now, baby, calm down. Listen very carefully. Tier 1 is quality capital, good capital. So what you take, and I like a formula, if you can remember, it's very good. I'm not asking you to by heart logically. First, you take your own funds. Own funds means what? Equity, free reserves, capital reserve. Every reserve you can take, except which reserve? Revaluation don't take. Why? Revaluation reserve will fall under tier 2. So tier 1 capital, first you take the own funds. What all will come in own funds? Equity, free reserve, capital, other reserve, except revaluation. Revaluation is in tier 2. Can you say an amount? Assume equity, free reserve, capital reserve, etc. comes to 200 crore. Assume. Net own funds is 200. From that, minus excess investment made. Makla, did I say plus or minus? Already you got net own funds as 200. With that you minus what? Excess investment. Allowed itraya, adinekalam cheythathu. Allowed ivlo, more than that. Whatever is excess made, then allowed you minus. Assume. The investment made is 30 crore. Actual investment made is 30 crore. How much is allowed, you know? 10% of the above net own funds. Reply. How much was the above net own funds? In our example, 200. So how much was allowed? 10% of 200 was allowed, which is 20. How much is excess? Made 30, allowed 20. Excess how much? 10 you minus. Are you getting the point? Own funds 200, allowed 20, 30 they did. So excess you minus. Now, with this last one, add perpetual debt instruments. Perpetual debt instruments. Only if it is an NBFC ND. So, ma'am, what if it is other than ND? Tier 1, stop it there. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 enough. If it is NBFC ND, you will add non-deposit, then only you will add perpetual debt instrument. Hello? Are you all there with me? Can everyone reply? Now, how much perpetual debt instruments you will add? 50% of Tier 1 capital of previous year. Makla, you have to give me 10 minutes time. If you say, okay, I'm desperate, I'm going, don't go off. Please stay. We are tough people. Please stay. Be cool. I will make you do a problem immediately after this. You'll be fine. Believe me, guys. Please stay. Okay. Tier 1 capital. Okay. Tell me a amount. Perpetual debt instrument total is what amount? 80 crore. How much is allowed? 15% of Tier 1 of previous year. So previous year Tier 1. Tell me an amount. 500 crore. It's 15%. Can someone say 80 crore is the actual investment, 15% of previous 75. So how much is allowed? 75 or 80? You can take only up to 15%. So you will add what? 75. Balance, how much is there, guys? 5. The balance you take it to Tier 2. That 5 crore balance, take it to Tier 2. Is Tier 1 clear for you? Quality capital, own funds you will take. Excess funds, if any, you will minus. Then perpetual debt you will take up to 15% of last year's Tier 1. Balance, if any, take to Tier 2. Come on, see Anna Sumava, see Anaki Samblano. Come on, we are tough people. Prove it, guys. And can you go to Tier 2? At a balanced capital, what all are that? Equity shares Tier 1 or Tier 2? Makla equity share Tier 1 or Tier 2? Doubts, kindly pause. I've started with Tier 2. So please, equity is Tier 1. So preference shares comes in Tier 2. Other than compulsory convertible. Convertible preference shares means convertible in equity. It will go in Tier 1. So preference shares other than compulsory convertible you will take in Tier 2. Why, ma'am, compulsory convertible not taken? That will go in Tier 1. Now, which reserve you did not take in Tier 1? Come on, say, which reserve you did not take revaluation? Take it there. Revaluation reserve, many students are messaging. They have written in the material discounted rate of 55%. Now, should you take 45 or 55? As per the MTP, they have taken 55. Meaning, if revaluation reserve is 100, how much will you include in Tier 2? Discounted at 55, meaning 55. As per ICAI calculation. Tier 2, you will take preference shares, revaluation reserve. That's 55% discount. Now, general provisions or loss reserve. You study, in PGBP, in income tax mainly, disallowance or allowed only up to this much only. You learn, in income tax, etc. This much is allowed. Same way here also, RBI says, general provision loss reserve you take. How much is allowed? Up to 1.5% of denominator. Array, what was in denominator? Risk weight asset. Adode, it's how much is allowed? Up to 1.5%. Rest is not allowed, disallowed. Preference, revaluation at 55, general provision up to 1.25% of denominator risk-weighted assets. Now simply add hybrid debt instruments, subordinate debt instruments. Okay, I'm not sitting and explaining what it is. Hybrid debt, subordinate debt, plus balance of dash from Tier 1. Balance of what? Perpetual debt instrument. I will share the sheet. The sheet I'll share, don't worry. So here when. But this perpetual will come only if it is Nbfc ND. Other than this, leave it. But one more thing, after that I'm going to do a problem with you. You are going to say, if MBSC base layer, again perpetual is not included. So can you say perpetual debt instrument not included for two things? Can you say for which all you won't include perpetual in Tier 1 and Tier 2? One, for base layer you won't include. And other than ND also you won't include. ND can also be other than ND, no. ND you have to include. Other than ND you should not include. Now, I will give you a very simple, not simple. ICAI's MTP 1 had a very simple question of this. Other than ND, you should not include perpetual debt. Perpetual debt is only for ND. Makla, we will do two questions in this. Can you say proceed? You understood this, no? Now, I will ask you, you say. And I want everyone to reply. Even if it is wrong, no issues. I wanted you to calculate capital adequacy ratio. Numerator, please. What is the numerator here? Study with me. Come on, learn. Capital funds na. Capital funds na Tier 1 plus Tier 2 na divided by risk-weighted assets. Thank God they've given the risk-weighted asset like this. Denominator over. Numerator you need. Can you take Tier 1? I said in a flow, no? First, which fund you will take? Makla, do with me. Owned funds. Owned fund, which all will come? First, can I take equity? 300. Then, the next amount alone you say. Amount bara. Then you will take 70 free reserves. Anything else? Capital reserve also you will take 20. Revaluation reserve is in tier 2. Can you total this? 390. Now you will reduce what? From this you will reduce excess investment. What is the excess investment? Actual investment minus allowed. Actual investment is how much? 75. How much is allowed? 10% of above net owned funds. So 10% into 390, 39. So 75 minus 39 is excess. How much is 75 minus 39? Array 36 minus. Plus perpetual debt instrument. 50. How much is allowed here? 50 is total. Allowed is how much? You forgot that. 15% of what? Last year's tier 1. So allowed is 200 in the 15%. Can you say how much? 200 15%. Yeah, last year's only. This is last year. 30. So 30 is allowed here. So how much will go to tier 2? 30 is allowed. So 20 will go to tier 2. Now can you total this for me? Own funds minus this plus this. 384. This will be the total of tier. Right? Tier 2. Tier 2 da. Tier 2. That's tier 2. Preference. How much is preference shares? 40. You can take it full. Then revaluation reserve. Preference. Preference shares you can take it full. So I'm extending here. Then revaluation reserve. How much? 10. How much is allowed? 55%. 5.5. Then general provision. How much is allowed? 1.25% of 30 denominator. So 900 into 1.25. Can someone get me the answer? 900 into 1.25. Thank you. 11.25. The actual is 30. But allowed is only 11.25. But I said 1.25, no? 1.25. Bharat? Wait. I'm believing you in the calculation. So say correct answers, please. Then you add subordinate debt instruments, 90. Anything else? 20. What is 20? Balance in perpetual debt instrument, if any. 20. Add 166.75. Now guys, tier 1 is 384, tier 2 is 166.75. Add both 5, 1 point also, 550.75. You got what now? Numerator, denominator, numerator. Put it there. Where is 550.75? Where, what is denominator? Risk-weighted asset. How much they've given in the question itself? 900 into 100. More than 15% only. 60 some percent. Ade Santosh. 61 point. Minimum how much it should have been? 15 only. But it is 61 point something. Now, tier 1 should constitute more than 12% if gold. Now, can you acknowledge whether you understood? And unless you're clear with this one, problem won't be clear. Deepti, tier 1, there are some things which you have to include, some things which you should not include. That's I've given you as a set. Own funds you take minus excess investment you do plus perpetual debt instrument. That is the tier one. What is own funds? Equity plus free reserve plus capital. All you will add. Excess investment allowed is 10%. More than that, whatever you did minus. If NBFC ND perpetual debt instrument add. How much you will add? 15% of last year's tier one were added. Remaining tiers. It's not 50%, Gutta, 15% da. It's only 15. Gopinath, you didn't see this, Gutta? 15 only. Now, can you compare it with the problem? This problem is designed by me. I only did from making the calculations. How was the problem, guys? Good, bad? Comment, please. One problem I created and you guys are sitting like this. One appreciation. Kutti, chinna appreciation. Vanda. I asked and you gave. No, I don't want the appreciation. Please. Vanda, Vanda. You have to give otherwise. Vanda. No, I don't want. You should have given Vanda, Vanda. Ini Vanda. And one more question can we discuss and then I'll give you 2 minutes rest. Can I discuss one more question? Ade, one question is enough. If you say please, I will discuss. Otherwise, I won't discuss. This is from the ICI MTP 1. Can you solve this without me saying the answer? So B. But I'm not saying. You say. What all I should write, you say I will do. It's a NBFC classified under regulation to maintain capital, 15% risk-weighted asset. Companies following the financial data, tier 1, tier 2 capital. They've given the data here. Owned funds, very easy, da. Owned funds they've given. You need not sit plus Vanda. Owned funds given. Now, why am I doing like this? Why am I reading? You say calculation. Tier 1. What all should I add? First, I have to add own funds. How much is the own funds here? They've given in my question, we were sitting and calculating. Here, easy. Okay. Minus what? Excess investment. Actually, how will you calculate allowed? Actual minus allowed. Here, they themselves have given 150. Simple, no? Plus, how much? Perpetual debt instrument. How much you will take for perpetual debt instrument? 50 Allah. The amount which they have given is exceeding. They themselves calculated and gave exceeding. Allah, the amount given is exceeding. Read the question carefully. This amount is exceeding 10%. 150 is 10% only. Exceeding only they've given. They've given in the bracket, no. 150 is the amount which exceeds 10%. The perpetual debt instruments, why are you confusing me? How much? 15% of what? Previous year's tier 1, no? Have they given in the question previous year's tier 1? No. Now you can take an assumption. Assume it is within the limit and take this. How much? 120 here. You have to write that assuming since tier 1 previous year is not given, assuming it is within limit. You take full. So tier 2 is 0. Can you add this? 1000 minus 970. Tier 2 can you take? Tier 2, what all you will take? Preference you will take, which is 80. Revaluation reserve, how much you will take? 200 into 55%, no? How much will come? 110. General provision, how much will you take? 1.25% of what? Risk-weighted asset they have given into 8,000. How much will come? 8,000 to 1.25. It will comes to 100. But 100 up to 100 it is allowed. But it's only 50. So will you take 50 or 100? Up to 100 it's allowed. Actual na 50. My flow went. Okay. Now hybridum, subordinatum you will add, no? Hybrid how much? 90. Subordinate 140. Now balance in PDI. Is it there, guys? No. Nil. Can you add? Okay, 0. 180. Comes to 470. Can you add tier 1 plus tier 2? 1,440. What you got now? Numerator. Denominator they have given now 8,000. So 1,440 divided by 8,000. Answer please into 100. It comes to 18. Minimum required was how much? 15. Is it met? Yes. Yes, it is NBFC. Why are you so confused? ICAI has given what? Investment in the group companies exceeding 10%, meaning 150 is the exceeding amount. Had this not been there, you would minus it. They have given 150, whatever it is only exceeding. Amount they've given it directly. At a 140 and 90 I got from here. Perpetual debt instrument and not perpetual, hybrid debt and subordinate debt. These two are 140 and 90. Others also, can you please reply? I said we will do NBFC with question. I've made you solve 2 questions. If you guys are hungry, you can take something and eat. Okay? Yes, 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 yes. From where tier 2? 50 or 50 now. General provisions. Bharat, general provisions 50. General provision 50. These two 90 and 140. Yeah. Actually, I'll give you rest. But one more thing is there. You guys are playing with numerator, denominator. You are playing with numerator, denominator now. Basically, you are playing with the Harsh, numerator, denominator Vande. That's the next one. Malavika, 1.25% of risk-weighted assets, how much kuta? You say, Malavika bara. Etra varum, how much it will come, Malu? Risk-weighted asset is 8,000. It's 1.25, 100. Up to 100 is allowed, but your provision is only 50, no. Whichever lower than you have to take a leg. Up to 1.25 it's allowed. Huh. Yes, Lakshmi. അതെ denominator Venuma, do you need denominator? With that, second amendment is over. Now, when I started off, how many amendments did I say? Five. Okay. Five will. First was NOF, net owned funds. Second is capital requirements. Capital requirements is still in progress. We got what you got? Numerator. Now denominator with that second amendment over. Third amendment is also big. Last two is like 5 minutes we'll finish. Last two. And if you all are ready for denominator, give me ready. Hello, why ready? To eat dinner? At a dinner, no. For what you ready? So you want the denominator, no? Here. Can you see? Denominator. We were now playing with the numerator capital funds. Now denominator is risk-weighted asset. For calculating the risk-weighted asset, what you need? You say. You say what you need. You need value of asset into risk. If you're lucky enough, like the questions which we did, both questions, they might give you the risk-weighted asset denominator itself in the question. If I say want to make it a little more complex, and we are tough people, guys. So what they will do, they will give you the asset value. Risk weight is there in your mind. You have to multiply that, add it and put in denominator. Array, what did I say? Value of asset in balance sheet, they will give you. Risk in your mind, you have to calculate. Multiply that. Total it. Put it in the denominator. Hello? Understood? Yeah, why are you making me say all these things? You would have learned in your intermediate old syllabus, advanced accounts. You would have learned this calculations. There are only 5 weights. I will say very easily. 0% weight is there, 20% weight is there, 50% weight is there. Now new amendment, they have added 125%. Rest all, you take it as, rest all you take it as 100. Isn't that easy peasy to remember? 0, how much? What all are in 0? What all are in 20? What are all in 50? What is 125? And balance is, take it as 100 weightage. So guys, play time. Type cash at bank. Most liquid asset. There is no risk at all. 0. Approved security. 0. Interest on government. And whenever comes to government, 0. Loan to employee, fully secured. Fully secured. There is no risk. 0. TDS asset, no. Government, 0. Advance tax paid, asset, government, 0. Fund claimed on central government. And why are you saying 0? Central government guaranteed claims, 0. Hi. Securities of state government, 0. Now wait. Till here, government, fully liquid, all 0. Now can you learn these 0? Now two things are 20%. 20% mainly 2 items. What all you know? Central government guaranteed claims. Not central government direct, guaranteed claims. 20. Bonds of public sector bank, 20. Over. Just 2 in 20. Remember that. Now, post-commercial operations, it is 50. But only one item in 50. Learn that. Now, newly they added 125%. Only one item. Credit card receivable consumer exposure, learn this. Other than this, you can take it as 100% risk. 0 you learn, 22, 51, 125, just 1. Rest all take it as 100. This weight you have to remember in your mind. Asset value should be given in the question. Into total. Put it in the denominator. Illa. So 2 amendments are over. Totally 3. Net owned funds over. 3 more. Capital requirements fully over. Only 3 more. I'll keep this pending for the time being. 4 and 5 I will take now because your mind. Yes. Ayush, yes, Kota. Kirti, now assume cash is 100. 100 into 0 is equal to 0. Central government guaranteed claims 200. 200 into 20%. Post-commercial operations 100. 100 into 50. Total all these things risk-weighted asset. At a more than 90 days, it will be like an NPA, no? Shivani, just learn like this because if I sit and explain each and every item, time will go, no? That's why Kuta. Post-commercial operation, they will give like that in the question. That also you have to add, Surya, but NOF over capital requirements, capital adequacy ratios over. Now, guys, Kritika, yes. You say, what should I do? Minimum time, the maximum coverage I want. If I want, I didn't run, no. I was solving problems, no. Poor me. So, guys, you have to say proceed. Otherwise, poor me, na. Now, babies, calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Can we go to last? Thank you, Shreyas. So, can we go to the last 2 shorter cases? And then I will come back to the big one. Okay. Shorter case. You remember 5 amendments I gave you the list. My amendment note is shared in the group. If you don't have, please message in the group. I'll share it over there. Okay. Shorter amendments now. What did I say? One, Nbfc deposit direction, sir. Okay. There is a very small change, very easy change only. Okay. Start. Camera. Why no action? Action da. What is the change? Nbfc accepting or holding dash. Holding public deposits. So if you see, Reporting is like this. All NBFC accepting deposit, not accepting deposits, not required to take registration. There is no change. As I said, I'm taking only amendment strictly. So amendment is only with respect to, can I say NBFC D, meaning deposit taking. These things, who has to check? Whether, okay, no, whether it's okay. Who has to check? Auditor. And he has to give in his report, additional report to whom? And he has to give in the additional report to whom? I said in the beginning. Thank you, Kritika, Board of Directors. These direction you have to check only if it is NBFC B. There was a change in this. I base the same here. But put your seat belt. I'm going to take off. Very easy. Very easy. Can I start? It's an NBFC ND. Okay. A flow will go. Whether they accepted public deposits, you have to see first and report. What are you saying? No, Kritika, it's now like this, Kuta. Forget the old ones and now it's like this. Okay, whether they accepted. If accepted, whether it is more than the ceiling limit, whether it is in excess of ceiling limit. Excess means quantum is there. As per the quantum, they can accept not more than the allowed ones. Whether obtained credit rating, CRISIL from approved agencies. Okay. Are you following? First one, it is NBFC D, no? If it is D, whether accepted? If so, more than the limit? If so, whether they obtain the rating? First three. First three learn together. Next, whether they capital adequacy ratio, which we learned, no, denominator, numerator, capital adequacy ratio. There is a form you should file. You means NBFC should file. Anyone? Capital adequacy ratio should be filed in form NBF 7. So now you will check whether NBFC has disclosed the correct capital adequacy to RBI in its return. You are like a watchdog. You are watching whether they have done it properly. D means depositor. So what they have to pay? They have to pay the interest and renewal. Whether there is any default in payment of interest or deposit repayment. Whether they violated any restrictions. Whether they complied with what norms? Prudential norms, which we'll study. Whether they complied with the liquid assets. See, as per RBI norms, a percentage RBI will say, a percentage should be invested only in what asset? Liquid asset. Why? There's a big investor called as Sandosh. He wants the money back. Depositor wants the money back. So there should be liquidity. So NBFCs, a percentage of investment should be only in liquid assets. Whether they have complied it, I will check. Then, whether NBFC opening of new opening of new branches or offices, it complies with RBI requirements. Did you understand? I will repeat for the last time. Then you put understood now. You put, otherwise don't talk. This is NBFC D. Deposit directions RBI has issued. Who has to check? Auditor. Where has to report? Additional report to BOD. When? Only if it is D. Whether they accepted? Is it in within limit? Okay. Whether they obtain rating? Okay, first. Now all, whether they complied requirement, capital adequacy, prudential norms, whether they are paying, return filed, liquid asset, new opening, RBI, whether as per the RBI norms. Small change, others. That's all. Just a small change. But I asked you for a reaction, if understood put you. ഒരു യു തന്നെ ഒരു യു അല്ലേ? They might ask a direct question. Ade, totally how many amendments were there mainly in NBFC? 5. How many you cleared? Now, see, NOR, capital adequacy. Now, NBFC, D direction. ഒന്നും കൂടെ പറയട്ടെ. I'll say one more and then give you 2 minutes rest. We'll chit chat. Other than auditing, we'll chit chat. Chit chat means talk only. How many reports NBFC auditors has to give? Beginning of the chapter I said. 4. Sada report, statutory, CARO. Then what? Additional report. Last one was what? Exception report. What is this exception report? 4th one. What is exception report? RBI is so busy. So whenever kids are doing some problem, Amma, your kid is doing like this, I will say. Only when there is a issue, I will say to RBI. If no issue, keep mum. Why to say? If your kid is doing well, why to say? Don't say to Amma. Only when there is an issue, say to Amma. Amma, RBI. So in case of any adverse or negative qualified comments or finding of above. Above means the above RBI directions, which is RBI Act, RBI deposit direction, which we learned. This is something new. That's why I said amendment. They have given a new direction, RBI Master Direction 2023. If NBFC is violating the Act, directions or master directions, plus above requirements, you will give an exceptional report to RBI. Ma'am, what we change here? This one. Press on, cut, copy, paste. We have added one more directions. That's it. Change മനസ്സിലായോ? Amendment പുരിഞ്ചതാ? You understood? സമജ? This directions is newly added. Rest is all safe. Only one more point. With that, our session will be over. But I wanted my Chinna is to do 1 or 2 more questions, but I don't know whether time permits. Let's see. So guys, 1 minute. You can say anything, you can ask anything. Chat box is yours. You can type. What's for dinner, guys? Makla, time up. Can you all get back to cages, please? Who let you out? Please go. I just gave you 1 minute. You took 2 minutes. Come on, get back to cages. Only one amendment there. That is that, asset classification, income recognition, provisioning. Before that, very small thing I wanted to show you. Can you say the answer for this question? SS Limited and NBFC involved in loan finance. But unless you guys, this is done by me. I created a. So, loan finance. Finance, okay. Due to unforeseen operating revenue, NBFC started decreasing. Net own funds they have given in the last 4 years. Financial year. Kindly guide regarding reporting requirement of NBFC. Tell me the answer. No, I'm waiting, guys. Please. Come on. Hungry. Come on. Tell the answer. First of all, loan finance company is which NBFC? Asset. Those who have our class notes, please take. Loan finance, asset finance, investment comes under. Makla, don't play. Comes under NBFC, ICC, Yes or no? Loan finance, asset finance comes under ICC. ICC, there was a glide path. You remember the glide path? Glide path was how much, guys? ICC 2 crore by 31st March 25. It should be 5 crore. Then 31st March 27, it should be 10 crore. Now see. Financial year 22-23, 15. Wow, more than 10. 23-24, 6. 23-24, 6. Is it okay? It is okay. Why? It should be only 2 crore. Now 24-25, they have decreased to 4 crore. How much it should have been? 5. Did they meet the net owned funds? No. Now guys, can you read the question? Reporting requirements they have asked. They didn't ask you capital adequacy. Duh. In NBFC, auditors report RBI directions we just learned. You learned, no? Directions, whether meeting the capital adequacy. If no, you will give an exceptional report. In fact, if net owned fund is not met, they are not eligible to hold COR. The answers. You should say in your report not eligible to hold COR. Capital adequacy is not met. Whether returns, they have shown this calculation properly. How is the question? Allah, you understood or what? Allah, understood or what? Why all of you became silent? Okay, one more question I'll discuss, then go to the last amendment. They have given the paid up capital, non-current, blah, 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 they have given. Now, they want to apply for registration. For an NBFC, first, thank you. For an NBFC, what is the first condition, guys? For an NBFC, 50 is to 50. What is the 50? First 50 is what I'm asking. Financial asset more than 50% of total asset. Can you say how much is the total asset over here? And from where are you calculating? 530. Now wait. 530 minus intangible should be taken. No. Alle. So minus 3. So total asset is 527. Total asset. Can you say what is the financial asset? These two together. No. These two together. From where did you get 263? Business are given loan and loans, short term and long term. So total financial asset is coming to 55.90 plus 344. Total para 400.37 as financial asset. Did it meet more than 50 criteria? Answer is yes. Use it and calculate the ratio. I don't want. Now, what is the total income? Gross income 102. What is the financial income? Financial income 3, you'll take only 52. So how much it came? More than 50. More than 50. Tell me more than 50. No. Answer is yes, 50.69. So more than 50. So that's also met. Now how do you conclude? Since it meets 50 is to 50 criteria, they have to obtain COR from RBI under section 45 IEA. Are we clear with this? Okay. So one more question is there. That's regarding the last amendment which we are going to discuss. With that, session is over. So take 1 minute and let me know by saying proceed. Okay. Proceed. Achada, I lost my flow. We talked about NOF, then we talked about capital adequacy, then we talked about the deposit directions, then we talked about exceptional report. Last one is prudential norms. Okay, thank you, Nita. Where is that? Page is not to be found. Kindly pause, wait, and come now. Ah, actually, amendment is very minute there. Just you have to listen. Listen, ah. എത്രയോ ചെയ്തു ഇത് ചെയ്തൂടെ എவ்வளോ பண்ணிட்டோம் இது பண்ண மாட்டோமா we have did this much guys. So start. Prudential norms are, in fact, capital adequacy is also prudential norms. These are issued by RBI. Makla, now ball is in your court. You have to say, I will listen. Income recognition. Ada, tell me, for performing asset. Okay, how will you recognize income? Easy, no, accrual basis. For non-performing asset, you will recognize income based on cash or receipt realization basis. No amendment. I should not say this, but I thought I'll say. Once it becomes NPA, whatever income which is already taken to P&L, it should be reversed. No change, no amendment, I'm just saying. Okay, va? First prudential norm is income recognition. Next, asset classification. At a bank, same as bank. Can you say what are the 5 asset classification? Standard asset, or you call it as performing asset. Then what? Substandard asset. Then doubtful asset. And now it becomes loss. No change, I'm just saying. It can be upgraded. Upgraded, from substandard, it can be regularized and it can be made performing. Now, guys, small changes there. Very small, minute change. Provisioning. Earlier, they didn't say, you remember I said in the beginning, for base layer it is like this, middle layer and others it's like this. For standard asset, base layer, anyone please guess out? 0.25%. Other case means what? Middle layer and others. Other case means, middle layer and others, it is 0.4%. Earlier it was not like this. Nbfc, NBSI, other like that. Now they said base layer 0.25% of standard. Other than base layer, middle and above 0.4 of standard asset. Substandard 10%. Doubtful has D1, D2, D3. Up to 1 year, 1 to 3 year, more than 3 year. How much percent, guys? No change in this. Come on, 20%, 30%, 50. This is when secured. If it is unsecured, put 100, 100. Loss asset, 100. Are we clear with this? At only one place change. I should have said that alone, but I thought I'll just summarize this quickly. Only one girl said clear. Others? You said clear. No, sit and calculate. Question. Can you calculate what is the total provision? And first of all, you should know NBFC D comes in base layer, middle layer and above. Very good. Middle layer and above. So standard, how much will you put? 0.4%. And I have to say the answer. I don't want you to calculate individually. Substandard, how much you put? 10. Doubtful up to 1 year. Secured, no. 20%. Doubtful more than 3 years. 50%. Can you total and say which is the correct option? You want me to calculate? 700 into 0.4% plus 200 into 10% plus 10 into 20% plus 50 into 50%. You calculated, huh? Answer is 49.8. So guys, amendment is not over. One more page is there. With that, class is over. Problem question can come from NBFC. 50s to 50, they can ask you to calculate like I showed you. Then they can ask you to calculate provisions. Then they can mainly ask you to calculate risk-weighted asset, capital fund, capital adequacy ratio. These are the main 3 important questions which all we have discussed. Keto. Third, did you hear? Ketengla. Hindi what is in Hindi for keto? Suna. Okay. Suna. Suna madi. Suna. Harshe, Gujarati. Vanda. Endina avane choriyunnu ratri. Vanda. Maklai, last page for the session. With that, tata. Last page. Can I proceed? Ma'am, we know substandard, we know doubtful, we know loss, we know performing. When will it be substanding? When it will be loss? When it will be some standard? Can you just hear very carefully? Due date today. Okay, today is the due date. They did not pay. They can wait up to 180 days. Like bangle up to 90 days, you hear, no? Up to 90 days performing. After 90 days, NPA. Haven't you heard? Come on, say yes or no. Like that, here instead of 90, NBFC, you always, or you take it as 180. So up to 180 days. Can you say PA, substandard, doubtful, loss, what? Up to 180 days from the due date, it will be performing. After 180 days, it will become what? NPA. NPA, there are 3 classification, no? Alle. Substandard, doubtful, loss. Once it is NPA, next up to next 18 months for base layer, next 12 months for middle layer and above, it will lay in. But today NPA. From that, next 18 months or 12 months, it will lay in which layer? Substandard. After 18 months or 12 months respectively, it will be classified under doubtful. Loss, there is no time period. RBI or the bank inspection will declare as insolvent and loss. Due date. From due date, dash days take. Dash days from due date to 180. So till 180 where? Till 180 where? PA. Once more than 180, it will become what? From due date more than 180 here, NPA. Now wait. NPA has 3 now. From NPA date to next 18 months or 12 months. BL in 18 months. ML in about 12 months. Till 18 and 12 where it will be substandard. After 18 and 12, where it will go? Doubtful. Last, there is no time period. See the setup? Are we clear? Now, guys, I'll say something. I have only one son, so I don't know. So others, you should say. I'm on single daughter also, so I don't know. Ammaki. Amma has two kids. Okay. Both kids are like two eyes. Which eyes you like better? Both. Similarly, RBI has two kids. Bank, NBFC. Bank, when is they? When bank, it will be NPA 180 days or 90 days or 90. So now our mother, RBI wants to align NBFC with bank. So now they said, instead of this 180, rest are same. Rest are same. Rest are same. Instead of 180, you guys make it 90. So due date to 90, then all same. Simple calculation. See, instead of 180, take it as 90. Why? To make it similar with the, what you call, bank. But the problem is, if at once they say to change, many loans will become NPA, no? Tell me. So here also, they gave a gliding path. Where else you heard gliding? Capital adequacy. No, not in capital adequacy. Sorry. NOF. Made me also wrong. NOF. Here also glide path. What is the glide path? And how much was the NPA days? How much was, I asked you? 180 days now. By 31st March 24, make it 150. By 31st March 25, make it 120. By 31st March 26, make it 90. So guys, NOF, what was the achieving date? 10 crore achieving date was 31st March 27. For this 90 days, achieving date is when? 31st March 26. Right now, which is the date which you will take? Right now, if a question comes, very good, you will take with this one. Yes, with 120. And by 31st March 26, they should make 90. Clear? So guys, let me summarize. What is it's a repeat only. What is performing asset? Where there is no risk or normal risk. NPA, how much? It was 180 days, but now see this. See the glide path. Then it becomes, after this 90 days or 120 or whatever it is, it becomes substandard. From substandard, doubtful. When it will become doubtful? Remained in substandard for more than, can you say, 18 months or 12 months respectively. Am I clear? The law. Well, RBI has identified. All these are now, earlier it was so much complicated, leasing, hire purchasing. Now it's like this very plain. But a base layer, middle layer, they have made it actually simple, except for the glide path. With that, so wait. Let me wind up. Then I'll come back to your doubts. Let others who are not having doubts, let them leave. It's already late. And I've exceeded my time by 5 minutes because we started at 6:35. So I should have winded up by 9:35. I'm sorry, I exceeded by 4 minutes. So guys, can you hear out for 1 minute? After that, I will wind up. Can you hear out? Eda, so there has been a huge lot of complaints from the students. Two things. One, marannu povunu, forgetting. ஞாபகமே இல்லை. Forgetting is not an issue as far as, okay, I'll ask you, how many of you face forgetting issue for audit? Okay, one. But you know something? Uh, even me, I have written my exams in 2009. Okay. Uh, for theory subjects like auditing, my mind was also blank in the exam. Before the exam, actually, my mind was blank. But once you revise it well, you will get the points as and when the question comes. Ma'am, you are brilliant. No, I'm not. But I've done minimum 3 rounds of revision. I can't take the material and show you. It's in 2009, old back, 15, 16 years. I used to complete every topic and put minimum 3 ticks, meaning 3 rounds of revision. Unless I put 3 rounds of tick, I'm not satisfied myself. So you have to do 3 times of revision. Now you will say, ma'am, no time. I'm not asking you to revise every point. I'm just asking you to do a summary. If you see my, you have the playlist. I think I've pinned in the group. In the playlist, 12 or 13 chapters summary videos I've given. Has anyone seen that? Kandittundo yara. Paathirukeenga? Have you seen? A chapter in 10 minutes summary. Best is to do it yourself, but if you can't do it yourself, you can use that video if you feel it good. It's English only. If you see, my YouTube is fully in English because I feel class we can take in Malayalam or Tamil, whatever it is, but your exam is in English. So yeah, I don't know Hindi medium. Exam is in English. So during the last 1 month, whatever you study, allowed also should be in English as far as possible. When you say it in your own language, Malayalam or Tamil or whatever it is, you feel easy. But writing should come. So it's my humble advice, last 1 month, whatever you hear, whatever you study, do it in English. Okay? One thing. Second thing is presentation. In my YouTube, I've given you presentation video. Okay. My YouTube channel, as Harsh is saying, CA Revathy Raja, you search with my face, it will come. WhatsApp also, you have my channel. If you are there in WhatsApp channel, you will get each and every minute point. I will keep posting. Okay. All these if you want only, otherwise leave it. Okay. Now, guys, you guys will be thinking, oh, ma'am, oh, we are fed up. We are, somehow we want to finish. Tada, you should not. You should not. Wafa, in my YouTube summary videos is there. If you don't find, don't personally message, guys. Put the message in mentoring group. I will give you. Okay, what I was saying. And whenever you feel like somehow finished, no. Today my son was like doing something. What he was doing? He was doing some craft or something. Okay, some craft he was doing. So last he was like everything is okay. He could not fit something into it. He was like saying, Amma, itre jedo, ivlo panniyachi, this much, I'm going to leave. So I said to him only one thing, Eda, you spend last 1 week for this and some week or something you had to put. Only that will take 1 hour max. He was doing that craft for last 7 to 8 days. So don't give it up. Same way I'm saying to you, you guys have come from that far to this far. It's just one more step for those 2 golden letters with your name, CA. So just imagine that day when that 2 words comes to you. It is not only you are who are going to be happy. Just think, no. Can you just put a person who will be happy once you are CA? Put a name, husband, wife, mom, father, whatever it you can put. Chat box is open. I won't read chat box. If it is, okay, husband, whatever it is you put. Myself. Okay, parents, loved one. Harsha? See, guys, do you want your loved ones or those names which you said here to be happy? Just think that. Don't think about yourself. Do you want to see them happy or sad? You think. അവരെ സന്തോഷിപ്പിക്കണോ കരയിപ്പിക്കണോ അവങ്ങളെ ഹാപ്പി ആക്കണമോ സാഡ് ആക്കണമോ you want them to be happy, right? For that you have to do it, not somehow. Anyone can survive, guys, in this world, but to be succeed, you have to have that, what you call that, ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് നേടണം, നേടാതെ പോവില്ല. I don't know how to say it in English. That fire, okay, we have to, we will, and we will show it. Okay, there are a lot of people who would have heard negative. Can I know who all have heard negative? നിങ്ങളെ കൊണ്ട് പറ്റുമോ, ഉണക്ക് മുടിയുമോ, will you ever pass CA? You would have heard negative, na? But as I said, 90% of the people around you, I'm saying out of my experience of the life, doesn't want you to be good. That fact you have to accept, guys. Please accept that fact. 90% around you doesn't want you to. I'm not saying about your close ones, please. I'm not saying, please, please, please. But there is 10%. You call it as minority interest. Okay, that 10% or 5%, whatever it is, you look at them. 90% just avoid. If they are not caring for you, why you should care for them? Just avoid. And for that 10% who wanted you to pass, please think of them, that smile on the face. Anyone can make anyone cry, guys, but only you can make your loved ones cry with a smile on the face, right? So leave that 90%, let them be. They will get, if you are not there, the topic, they will get another. I'm saying with all due respect to all people, please don't misunderstand. But you work for that 10% people who wanted you to succeed. And with my full heart, I'm saying, please include me also in that 10% who wanted you to succeed. And I'm also waiting. So really waiting for your successful, each and every one of you. So keep going. And guys, one last announcement. I have done already a RTP. I've done MTP1. I don't know how many of you attended. Otherwise, it's there in the YouTube. I have an entire playlist of full page. Put in the group, I'll give you. MTP2. Tentatively, it is Asha? May, April 13th. I'm sorry, April 13th, we will have MTP2. Please attend. Okay. So that will be the last session for the final for this upcoming exam, I think. So keep going. Love you all. Stay blessed. Okay. Take care.